Howdy all and welcome to Jab Plays. Today we're going to pick up on the Satisfactory Plus No Handcrafting Challenge. The last time we were together, we built all those assemblers down there to unlock the MAM and the resource sinks, right? So there's the ticket machine. Off in the distance there's that, and I showed you the guys the super cool storage that also works as a sink. So after having my space coffee this morning, I thought about it, and I think that the next logical step is to do advanced sorting. So let's go ahead and work on that, because what that'll do is that'll give us crushed copper, crushed zincs, magnesium, zinc ingots, silica plates, solar cells, which is something we may need to look in the near future. So let's go ahead and get that going. Let's see what I got in my pocket. I do have everything I need in my pocket to be able to do this. We'll send that off, and there we go. So before you all go, well, hang on a second. You got something in here we haven't seen you make before. I will, we'll talk about it. All right. So I put copper ingots and tin ingots to make bronze ingots, and then I ran it over here and into this machine. Now, if you're just like, well, where did the bronze ingots or copper ingots come from? Glad you asked. I want to be perfectly clear about this and make sure that y'all don't think that I'm cheating in any kind of way if I do anything off camera. But there's this box down here. So remember when we made this and we tore up our temporary thing? Well, we had stuff in the loop that I put in the box, and I said, we'll save this for a rainy day, and well, it's raining. So you're like, what's in the box? Well, here's what's in the box. We've got some ingots, and this, right? So yeah, that's what I'm using for right now. So there's the idea. So what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to couple things, right? I want to be able to expand our assembly production. I want to be able to make a production line that makes just copper ingots, because we're going to need it, and see what it is that we unlocked. So first thing we do is, well, let's see what we unlocked. I got a crusher, and I've got a sorter, but I need reinforced plates. Not a problem. Now I did fill up the machines, so we should have stuff to work with. Let's put this down really quick, and then we can ooh and ah on what it is that we unlocked. So, did we get any new recipes? Magnesium granules. Magnesium is, well, crushed magnesium makes magnesium granules. We can look into codex and go, okay, we can make silica out of it. There's other things we can make, but we hadn't figured that out. All right. So in here, now we have crushed copper and crushed zinc. Before we only had iron. So now we have the ability to make crushed copper, which is 96. And if we look over here, it is crushed kaolinite. We're getting 60 out of here. So it looks like we're expanding it and getting more crushed copper out of it, which is a good thing. We're also getting crushed magnesium and crushed stone out of it. So that is cool. Now let's go to the smelter and check. All right, so the recipe for crushed kaolinite is 24 to 24. And if we go to copper ingots, it's 48 to 48. So it's still a 1-for-1. It's just that it processes it more of it quicker. So that is a good thing. All right, so let's look at this and see what the recipes that we're missing. So the recipes we're missing are bronze frames, which mean you need bronze beams and bronze pipes to make. And we have modular frames, reinforced plates and reinforced beams. So not a problem. When we built this, I made a comment that, hey, that, let me get this out of the way. That when we put this down, I knew that we were going to have a couple more we needed to add to it. not a problem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here, blueprint, my 4x4, tack it down and move it. And one there, and we need one more. All right, so that, tack that down and nudge, 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 nudge. Put that down, and we got a problem with this pole, so let me go ahead and move this pole really quick. Put it there. Where's it coming from? It's coming from there to there. Now, where is it going to? All right, so if I delete that and I grab that, yo, talk to me, and there. So now all I have to do is get rid of that. All right, that takes care of that issue. All right, let's get into our handy dandy blueprints, and let's get these down. Nope, you're facing the wrong way. I need some rotors. Well, amazingly enough, we're making rotors over here. So grab a bunch of rotors. Let's put these down. If I can line them up. Now I love blueprints, right? I'm just not very good at understanding how to get them to recognize each other. And the other thing is, I've yet to figure out how to delete a whole blueprint. So if you can explain that to me in the comment section, it would be greatly appreciated, because I feel kind of a certain way about not understanding. So let's come in here. There's modular frames. There's those. All right, so that takes care of that. So what I want to do is, like I said, we wanted to get a production line of copper coming in. I want to make sure it's running fast. And I believe that's a copper line right there, what I want to use. Let's scan. Let me look at the map. That's an impure. This is an impure. You know what? It's fine if it's impure. It doesn't matter to me if it's pure or impure. It's just it's a temporary thing. Imagine that. Jab said it's a temporary thing, just like everything else that's temporary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna knock this out, and then I'm gonna get the parts and pieces to make a platform going over here, just to get a production facility of crushing this, sorting it, getting the ingots made, and the rest of the stuff being stored. So let me go ahead and get my checklist together. I'll be right back in just a few seconds. All right, we're back. I put down a walkway, right? So that we can put the miner down, and a little ramp to get up here, and something to tag on. So what I'm hoping for is, I'm hoping that a 4x4 is going to be wide enough to do what we're going to do, and we'll put one there, and then we'll put one here. Well, if I can see what I'm doing. And hopefully this will be wide enough to do what it is that I want to do. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put down a crusher, because we need to crush it. And I just need a little bit of walkway. I don't have to have a whole lot of walkway in here. Well, I've got enough space. That looks good. Right, and then put one there. Put... Is that lined up? I don't think so. Yo, give me another copy of that. Now it's lined up. And then we can belt that into there. We can belt that into there. And we can give this a recipe edge crush kaolinate. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and put down the miner. Let's give it a drill head. And let's take some lifts. There's one. There's two. And then we can just belt. 1, 2. That takes care of that. So then we'll come over here and we're like, all right, so we've got that. So the next thing is, after the crusher, we need a sorter. So we can line it up like so. I think that's going to be enough room. This is going to be the ore output. That's going to be the stone output. And we'll come in here and we're telling it it's making crushed copper. So we'll get crushed copper, magnesium, and stone out of it. So then at this point, what I want to do is, I gave myself plenty of room. So what we're going to do is we're going to put down storage boxes, also sinks. So I need it facing this way. I want enough room to walk behind it. And I think that'll be enough. So we can do 1, 2, and 3. All I need now is a smelter. You know, it's nice. It's nice when everything is kind of lining up the way I envisioned in my head. I need some power poles for the boxes, so we'll put one there, one there. We'll wire these bad boys up. Okay, I know stone's coming out of this one. So we'll do it like this. And actually, let me do this. I want to line this up with that. All right, you're facing the wrong way. And then get it to line up with the other one. There we go. Then we can wire it in. And if I did this right, I should be able to get a merger. Where is the green? Yep, dang it. All right, there's the green. I should be able to do that. And then I should be able to get a belt from here to there. I should be able to get this belt from here to there. And it shouldn't clip, which it doesn't, which is beautiful. And then after that, all we gotta do is make a copy of that, put that there, spin it around like that, hit that. Boom. Yeah, now we're talking. This can go straight into there. And then this just needs to go... Well, do we do it that way or do we do it this way? Yep. Is that okay? I mean... I can live... Can I live with that? I can live with that. That's fine. It's temporary, right? It's not forever. Oh my, look at this. what we can do is we can cut this off then. I don't need this. Save a little bit of space. Now I need is a power pole to over here. Hook this up. Go into there. You go into there. Hook this into that. These will daisy chain into that, and that will daisy chain into that. Now all we gotta do is run this power. Just out of curiosity, was this gonna run? 53 if it's running at max capacity, but it's not gonna be running at max capacity, and we're okay with that. Now all I gotta do is find a place to hook it up to the power line, and yeah. All right, we're cooking with gas now. You need a recipe. All right, let's go give it a recipe, and then I'll walk you through what it is that this is gonna do. All right, recipe copper ingots, boom. All right. So, unfortunately, this is an impure ingot, and at best, we're gonna get 15 a minute because it's impure, and that's what the efficiency is, 50%. That's where we're at. However, it's just temporary, right? We're just doing it for copper ingots. So we're getting 30, 15 a line that's coming in here. This is feeding this. So this has the ability to do 60, but it's working at half speed, which means we're making 30 of these a minute and 12.5 of those a minute. No big deal. They're coming into here. This has the ability to do 120. It's 1/4. So we're getting 1/4 of 96, which is math. 96 divided by 4, we're getting 24. So basically this is going to make 24 copper ingots a minute, and then we're going to get so 1/4 of 20 magnesium a minute, and then 10 plus 12, 22 and change a minute. So all I want to do is see if, all right, that's what the magnesium looks like, and that's what the copper looks like, and I did guess right that they were coming out of the right side. So I just want to make sure that that is sinking or going to storage. And the way these things work is once it gets to here, it will change it into coupon stores automatically. So now all I gotta do is, all right, there's that. And I just wanted to make sure that everything was making into the boxes and it's doing what it's supposed to do. Is it perfect? Yes, for exactly what we want it to do. It serves the purpose. So the next thing I want to do is I need to make a platform for making foundries and stuff. And you're just like, well, Jab, why? And we have to go over to the hub, and then I'll explain to you why. It's just this simple. In order to progress, we need stuff that's made out of the we need is it copper? No, it's not copper. It's we need these things. Bronze pipes, right? Modular frames. We need, but bronze pipes was what we need to move forward. Also in here, like the bronze plates, you know, all the bronze products we need to do. But in order to do that, we need some sort of temporary setup to get it going. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, what makes sense? So if we look into here, we can make bronze pipes, we can make bronze ingots, we can make the silica, but right now I'm not really worried about the silica. That's something into the future. And we have the ability to also make solar shells. We will also look at that in the future, but right now it's like, all right, there's two things we need to make. So bronze pipes and that. However, we also looking at the ingots. So we'll probably need two of them to make ingots, and then a third one. We're gonna need at least two of these, and then after that we're gonna need Let's see, bronze beams, bronze plates. So those are both in assemblers. There's a zinc plates, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Let me check the constructor really quick. There may be a recipe in a... Oh, I was in the constructor. Let me look into here. All right, so it looks like we need a minimum of the following things. I need 2 foundries, 2 no, not smelters, 2 constructors. We're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular boxes, and we're gonna need, actually, we'll make them regular boxes. They don't need to be storage sinks because they're not going to be permanent. So that's 6, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Okay, so that is what we need. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and go into the blueprint thing and see if I can figure out a temporary blueprint pattern, right? So we can stop it down and see if it worked. And the other thing is, I want to take a look at this. I'm a little concerned, are we running low on go-go juice? All right, we've got 97 in the pike, and it looks like we're not, it looks like we're out of stuff. So yeah, we're out of stuff to make. So yeah, we're one of 2 things that have to happen. We're either gonna have to build another power supply way, or we're gonna have to get the chainsaw backing out. I really don't want to get the chainsaw backing out. So, yo, let me figure this out and we'll be back. At the time of this recording, we have 26 subscribers in the channel. If you're enjoying the content and the story and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 100. All right, we're back. You know what? Since this is temporary over here, I feel like we should build off of this and put it here. You know, so we can get all the pieces and parts in one area. Makes sense to me. So what we're first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna extend the platform out. I think 1 row should be plenty, or 1 more this way. But you all know what I meant. Maybe. Maybe you knew what I meant, or maybe not. Some of y'all do. Some of y'all speak jab. Some of y'all don't. It's okay. Is 2 gonna be enough? It may be enough. So let's do outside in, or no, let's do outside. We'll do it the same way we're doing it over there. So let's come over here and let's pull up the new blueprint. So I've got temporary foundry, and we'll stick this there-ish. Is that enough to, that's enough room to walk by. And we'll put 1 down, and if one's good, 2 is better. I just have to, are you lined up? Oh. It says it's lined up, but the boxes are different, but I'll take its word for it. And all it is I've got boxes and belts going into the foundry with the wire. Unfortunately, the blueprint maker isn't big enough that I can put a box on the other end. So we just have to put a box on the other end. But we were doing that anyway with assembler setup, so not that big of a deal. And you're not lining up. You were lining up with something else. Are you lining up with this or something else? Something else. All right, boom. And then we'll just get a copy of this. Tag it down. there, there, and there. We just need to give these recipes. So this is going to be making bronze ingots, and this is going to be making the bronze pipes. And we just got to connect power to here. So the next thing that I did was I made a temporary constructor setup, which is right here. And it is basically the same. A box, belt, wire, boom, right? So there's one. And, oh, we need screws. All right, let's go get some screws. Got the screws. Now, here's a cool thing. It happens that now I can get up on this platform this way. All right, so let's put down the last constructor thing that I needed. Blueprint, temporary constructor. Tag that down for just a second and put that down. And then we just have to get these recipes. One's gonna make bronze beams. One's gonna make bronze plates. Not a problem. Run power, power. Now, just out of curiosity, if this is running at 100%, this is another 40 megawatts star capacity. All right, so like before, we just have to grab these, and there's one, and two. Now all I have to do is belt these in, and just like that. Oh, let's take a look at this. All right, let's get the drone out, and up and down, and you know what? I am digging this setup, right? It's not the... Oh, I was looking for lights. I'm like, why aren't there lights? The lights are over there. This is beautiful. It's sleek, it's compact. It does exactly what we want it to do. It simply puts stuff in the box so we can do something with it, right? We haven't gotten to the point where that we can actually build anything, but it's simply this. I want to be at a point that when we build it, that it lasts a while. And I mean, you know, more than an episode, because stop and think about it, right? I could tear all that apart and add the sorter in there, but it doesn't make any sense to do it right now. So now that we've got that, let's take a look at into the hub and see where we stand and what is the next thing. And I honestly believe, well, power, right? Power. Max consumption is 476. We're throwing another 40 on it. So yeah, the 40 is gonna, well, production wise, we're only 250. Consumption, we're at 240, 250. I mean, we can take it. However, some of the stuff may not be working. The other thing is I want to add resource sinks to it. So not exactly where we stand on that. However, I know what we want to do. I think that the next thing is we're going to work on this, right? But in order to do that, we have to get these things into the boxes, which is exactly what we're working on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break, get me a cup of space coffee. I'm going to get a list of what we need, and then we're going to fill the components into the boxes that we need to fill into the components in the boxes to get it going, and then I'll show you it in motion. Give me just a couple seconds. All right, we've got the pieces and parts to figure it all out. So we need, well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is making copper ingots. And do I need copper ingots for something else? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we need to put the 10 ingots in here. I've got a 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. Now these other stuff are going to need bronze ingots. That needs bronze ingots. This is going to need bronze ingots. So we're going to have to wait on... Did I not give them recipes? They don't have power. How cute. All right. Can I get power from you? I can. Boom. All right. That should solve the problem. So we're waiting on bronze ingots to come through. So this machine is going to be extremely important, and it is not the fastest in the world. But this is going to need bronze ingots to make bronze beams. No big deal. That's also going to need bronze ingots to make bronze plates. That is fine. Now, the reason why those are important is because these two machines down, the two assemblers down here that we've got making stuff, is going to need bronze beams or bronze pipe, which they're both being made down here. We'll have to shuttle them down here. And this is using bronze beams and reinforced plates to make modular frames. Not a problem. So we got everything moving and grooving and brewing and feeling very happy about it. So I just want to double check just to make sure, you know, we are getting the ingots. So the ingots are coming in here. Eventually, right? I'm going to be able to move them to all the machines over there and get that going. Now, the one thing I want to do is I've got all the ingots out of there, but I didn't get out of here. So the question is this, you know, that everybody probably wants to know, and oh, good, I'm not, is in this short period of time, how many copper ingots have I brewed? And that's a fair question, and I honestly don't know. But what we can do is we can come up here and we can take a look in the boxes and go, all right, stone's getting there, magnesium's getting there, and quite a bit. I'm shocked. So I could just run a belt over there, but because it's temporary, and I just wanted to show you guys that the process of how I go about to do things. I'm going to shuttle some things back and forth behind the scenes, but it's not necessarily anything that you need to see at this second. Just proving that, you know, hey, we are progressing. Like I said, we're going to work on the next form of power and see what that's all about while we're making pieces and parts to progress. All right, guys, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. You guys are rock stars. I want to say thank you for all the love and support and the comments that you guys have been putting in there. And the channel is growing, and I appreciate it. All right, guys, if I don't see you in between now and then, have a fantastic weekend. And as always, happy farming.